Can you hear that? Can you actually hear that music? Can anybody hear that? You can hear music. Can you hear me? Listen to that music. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah. Here we go. Beautiful. Listen, you're rocking the 80s. Rush hour. Yeah. Just kidding. Anyway, that wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. What's up? Oh, it's gonna play it again. Son of a gun. It just keeps looping. I don't. It just keeps looping and looping and looping. I'm sure I can stop it. I should. I really kind of like it. It's very, very calming. Yeah. I can't turn it off. I want to turn it off. I can't turn it off. Can't turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off. I see a lot of people say that all the time. Where's that comment now? Am I that hard to catch live? Am I that hard to catch live? I didn't know it. Okay, I gotta stop this somehow because I'll never stop. I'll never stop playing it if I don't play it. I didn't know that I was that hard to catch live. It's like, I don't know. See? I was hypnotized. I was hypnotized, that's for sure. I never knew that. People tell me that all the time, but I never realized that I didn't know that I was hard to catch live. Let me see. Wait, I just missed somebody. Level-headed. Stop to say hi. Keep up the good work. Level-headed. Thank you for 5 months of your support. It's very sweet. And Victoria Patrick is a new member. Excellent. How are you? Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? It's good to be here. I know it's late. Yeah, I had some stuff that I was working on in the studio, some new equipment and things like that. And I had I really wanted to test it out. And then I said, well, I might as well try to entertain a little bit. I mean, I'm not that entertaining, but why not kill two birds with one stone? You're never too young, you're never too old, right? And it's kind of like the one thing I like about this is it's kind of like a secret. Like this is a secret live. Like anybody can watch, but it's secret because everybody's asleep except for us and people in Finland, apparently, and Australia, Guam. I don't know why I said Guam. I just did for some reason. Uh, Jackie, is it Jack? Yeah, Jackie, Jax. I like the double X's. Very nice touch. Very nice touch. It's it's secret, right? It's kind of a, oh man, new member. Thank you. It's very hold on, let me, it's hi from Norway. Hello, Norway. Uh-oh. You entertain me, but I'm a desperate housewife. I was forward, to say the least. Yeah, we are. We're very, very on the low tonight, you know. It's like quiet, but shh, don't say anything. Don't tell your friends. Um, so what I was going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of commentary tonight. Uh, there's this case. Well, it's not really a case. I've followed. So there's this scam artist that I've followed for a long time, and his name's David E. Taylor, and he runs kind of he runs a cult, is what he runs, and I mean it is absolutely um, a cult. True Colors, we can do whatever you want. Absolutely, we can. Um, yeah, let's just have just a moment here. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 11th month, and I know it. You know, it's a terrible, terrible thing. Uh, oh, David E. Taylor, the Ask Michelle guy. It's not the Ask Michelle guy. It's the Axe Michelle guy. Hello, how are you? It's the Axe Michelle guy. That's who that is. And it's like one of the worst people. But anyway, he runs a church and a it's a media ministry, and it's called JMMI, which I don't know. It stands for like Joshua Media Ministry, um, something. And he's probably one of the more like his. So we'll look at this. I want to look at this deposition with you because it's pure comedy gold. Absolutely, it just is. And when I watch him talk, I like watching people talk that are caught in a like a really bad situation. Um, and for some reason, love the intro music. And yes, you're difficult to catch live. I'm sorry about that. Who's Michelle and why would I axe her? Well, you'll find out. You definitely will find out. I've been trying been trying to teach Josh the Aussie, Aussie, Aussie chant. Let's show him how it's done. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. You just showed me how it was done. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So anyway, I don't know how many of you are familiar with David E. Taylor, but I mean, he's an absolute degenerate. I believe he's still running his scams. And he's got, like I said, he's got one of the more, so he gets sued by this man because the man's wife kind of secretly donated $1 million to his quote unquote ministry. And when she did that, I mean, which is an insane amount of money, the husband sued and a deposition took place. Now he's in charge of the finances for the church or whatever it is. But yes, he is still at it. But he donates, the wife donates secretly $1 million. And unbelievable that yeah. So this deposition is quite, let me see here.
In your opinion?
So I'm going to bring it up here on the screen. This should be entertaining to say the least, you guys. If you don't know who David E. Taylor is, you're in for a treat. Did she think he wouldn't notice $1 million from their account? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I would certainly hope so. But make sure that you guys can hear it and that it's not echoing on my end. And I'll do commentary while this. Let's see. This is insane stuff.
We're on the record. The time now is 2:41 p.m. in the matter of Deborah Ann Frazier versus Ricky Allen Frazier, case number 2010-773215-DM. Does the video take deposition?
And that's another thing. Like, if this guy, first of all, his outfit is horrendous. But second of all, the hair, I mean, he's Friar Tucked. You know what I mean? I don't know who he thinks he's fooling. He knew that he was going to sit directly in front of a camera. And the funny thing about this deposition is that, like, it's all over the internet. And yeah, so he already looks like a absolute, weird guy. He's even worse though than you could imagine. But let's take a look here.
Of David E. Taylor being taken at 2055 Orchard Lake Road, Sylvan, Michigan. It is November 12, 2014. My name is Ed Boyke, legal videographer. Counsel, please introduce themselves to the record.
Colleen Renee appearing on behalf.
David E. Taylor. How's the audio? Let me know how the audio is. Is there an echo? Just let me know. Let me see. Cat Chats, Crime, and Coffee. Josh, miss you, buddy. Hope you're having a great night. I am. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Been a while. Okay.
On behalf of Rick Frazier.
Jerry Cavalier on behalf of David E. Taylor.
Steve Jenkins appearing on behalf of Deborah Frazier.
Gregory Tuma on behalf of Rick Frazier.
Please have the witness sworn.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay.
Yes.
Just for the record, Mr. Taylor, you also go by the name of the Apostle?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's another thing is that he claims to be, and that he wants to be called Apostle Taylor, the Apostle David Taylor, and he wants people to respect the fact that he's an apostle. And you'll see.
Records pursuant to the subpoena that we received and to clarify that we have what we've asked for. Thank you. I would state for the record that we have acknowledged that due to the time constraints and that we just received some of the documents that were kind of later than we expected, that we're going to have to continue this deposition, and everyone's agreed on a date of January 9th, 2015 at 10 a.m. Is that
Agreed.
correct, Mr. Cavalier, Mr. Jenkins?
Correct.
And
All right,
I don't know whether
let's
you're
get to the
here or
good
not.
stuff.
I have prepared over.
Wait till you hear this guy talk. He's a real peach.
I also provided the ledger to you on disk for your convenience.
So they would go directly into some bank account, and we've asked for the bank statements that reference these funds that were transferred.
Okay. It's my understanding from pastor's assistant that there's no bank statement that would identify specifically. Yes.
Registers, bank statement, ask, and 14, that's item number 4.
Job to do the deposition, not the clients.
He's not asking questions,
Don't have
so you don't have it. List and Deborah Frazier's account.
Yes.
Okay, here we
Produced.
go.
Earns for 12 ministries for 1213.
This is too much.
Do
It's
they
too
exist?
good, you guys. Trust me.
Sure, they do. I'm not sure.
Why don't we ask the
Sure.
deponent? To the extent that they exist, I'll provide you a copy.
14 to Joshua Medium. You believe you gave that to me, or is that accurate? Item number 2, where we're asking for, I'm sorry, let's go back to item number 1, where we're asking for bank statements. Would you agree that when somebody does a direct wire transfer from their account to another account, that there would be a bank statement that would reflect that for the receiving party?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, and can you produce, consistent with the subpoena, the bank statements would show Deborah Frazier's wire transfers?
Yes, of course.
And do you want to tell me, is that still the 30-day?
Yeah, we'll produce them within 30 days prior to the January 9th date if the documents exist.
He's indicated they do. So you have bank statements that show wire transfers if they were given from Deborah Frazier's account.
Yes.
Usually
Okay.
what they want, like
And
Well-
I understand that,
usually what you're supposed to say during depositions is like, I don't know, and I can't remember, or to the best of my knowledge, or anything like that. He doesn't do any of that. He just, it would be horrible to be having to represent this guy.
on bank statements, it may not show only Deborah Frazier,
It's
cancel checks, invoices, etc. Now, when she makes donations, she has designated for what purpose. For example, Rosh Hashanah. What would Rosh Hashanah be?
it's a Jewish holiday that we as Christians observe, you know, on the
Good.
Jewish calendar.
Good one.
It's a quite celebrated holiday in the
Oops.
Christian community in some circles, large circles,
Mm.
but not everyone does it.
So when Mrs. Frazier made donations that were designated as Rosh Hashanah, my subpoena duces tecum asks for canceled checks, invoices, check registers, bank statements, etc., that would back up those donations being spent for that purpose.
Yeah, that Rosh Hashanah is not so much a statement for the purpose of the money being used. It's a holiday, and it's designating when she gave an offering, like everyone else.
So this is
So it
basically,
didn't go for the purpose of Rosh Hashanah in any way?
they're asking where that $1 million basically went.
Well, Rosh Hashanah is not. It's a holiday. It's a service called Rosh Hashanah. It's
Right.
no, like when I, take up an offering for a specific thing, then, like if I say we want to raise offering for an 18-wheeler truck, then, and I say we're going to use this money for that, then it goes directly to that. This is a service such like a Sunday morning service or Easter service. And you don't purposeful, when the people give donations, you don't say where it goes to the Easter egg. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? The Rosh Hashanah is the name of a Jewish holiday.
No, I'm
and not
aware
a
of that.
Okay, great.
How long do you think Rosh
Okay, great. I like when he gets all sarcastic. Okay, great.
Hashanah lasts? How many days?
The lady who's conducting doing the deposing, she's sharp, and he's
10 days.
not
Normally.
sharp.
Now, one of her donations is listed as a money order.
Mhm.
And would you have deposited that into the general fund?
Yeah, I'm sure it would go there.
All right, and you can produce a bank statement that would correlate with that deposit.
We have everything on record.
Okay.
Which means no.
When she talks about a leadership conference in Taylor, what would that money be related to?
Well, you know, there are different services that I held, and we have people who attend those services and they give in those services. So when you see leadership is designating the type of service we're having, do that make sense?
So you have a specific service called a leadership conference,
Yes, where I teach leaders.
and do people have to pay to go into that service?
No, everything is free. They donate freely. You know?
Now, is there a reason you didn't bring the documentation
Everything's free. They donate freely.
that backs this up because you say it exists?
It's not a reason we didn't. I just think that maybe my office didn't quite understand everything that was asked for in detail, like you're asking. But it's no problem. We can provide that.
All right, when you say your office,
Yes.
where would that be?
I have an office here in Taylor, Michigan.
And what's that address?
2320. What is that? Superior Road.
What are the numbers?
I'm saying 20, I think 320. 20320.
Wait a minute, say it
Superior
again.
Road, 20320.
Okay, 5 digits?
Yeah.
Okay, Superior,
Road.
Can you imagine that
and
answer?
that's Taylor?
203-7234. Like he's messing it up on purpose. He's a dum.
Is this designated as
I'll
an
have to
office
ax
on the outside of the building?
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
When you look at this 20320
Oh, no, he's-
Superior Road in Taylor,
Mhm.
what is the outside?
He's not like every other minister on on TV. He's in a special class of his own, like a complete special
What does
class,
the building look like?
like
Does
the
it
special class.
say JMMI? What does it say?
Yeah, it says JMMI.
JMMI? And do you take up the entire building
For what now?
for JMMI, for your office?
We don't have to use the entire building for office facilities. We just use part of it,
What's the rest of the building used for?
having services.
Is this the church in Taylor that you go to?
I don't understand what you're asking. Can you rephrase?
Isn't there a church that you give services out of in Taylor?
Oh yeah, on Sunday. But yeah,
Is that this same building?
we let them use the building on Sunday morning.
Okay, when you say we let them, who's we and who's them?
JMMI owns the building, and there's a church called Kingdom Family Church that, you know,
This man is still out there under false pretenses, preaching, telling he considers himself the modern day Moses. That's what he says. I've heard him say it. I've listened to his sermons. They're terrible. And he starts singing. He's really bad singer too. and when he gets mad, like I'll have to show you sometime, but like when he gets mad I mean, he's not a very nice guy. You know, let me see here. Let me see here. Yeah, he scolds his staff like constantly. Let me see if I can find it here. I mean, I'll stop this one and then we'll just a little. And I love this channel, and they haven't posted in 6 months or so, but I really enjoy this channel. It's the Cult Watch, David E. Taylor Cult Watch, and this is one of the former members, I believe. It's the best.
Where is it? I want to show the people the other type of trucks we're getting. I want them to see what we're doing. No, that's wrong. With the trailer on the back. I need the standard trailer. There it is. That's what we're talking about. God was so hard about doing that. So if you see this.
By the way, all these people that work for him work for free. Except, I believe, Michelle. She's a different subject.
This is how the 18-wheelers look here.
It's not just an ordinary meeting. It's not just
Come on, guys, get a close up. When someone is talking, get a close up of them. Come on.
Yes, sir. I was saying that this.
Yes, from Florida. Hello, Adrian. You guys mobilize this country, mobilize the nation. I see Keisha from Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Robert Ragsdale.
He didn't hit somebody, but he blessed them.
Guys, what are y'all doing to the LED screen in the back? Come on, fix that.
Look at him back there. The people that run this stuff are amateurs, and they're donating their time, and they've got the green screen. They've got it messed up, and he gets so buttered about it. It's just like unbelievable.
What are y'all doing? Jesse Wagner. Jesse Wagner. Roll the video.
Cloud supernatural. You can see why.
So I don't know if there's a static in this. I keep hearing somebody.
Apparently, he was like in a 2-year lock away during COVID where he was fasting. He doesn't look like he fasts either.
Hearing a sound that this is there somebody? What is wrong with this? Is there a technical problem, or am I hearing somebody that's sleeping or something? Daniel, where are you? Real quickly. What is happening here? What? Yeah, y'all need to get this straight here. I don't want any interruptions here because I want to speak to the people without any interruptions. Okay.
Yeah, Molly J. It's a Nike hat. He wears very nice clothing.
And I'm still hearing that sound there. You know, under the anointing, my ears are magnetic. I can hear everything.
Under the anointing, his ears are magnetic. He can hear everything. Unbelievable.
Let me say this to you. I haven't heard this all week, so I don't know why it's there. I don't know if this on the call or if this is somebody who's patching in that's making a sound in the background. You all check that now. Now it's then stopped. It sounds like somebody making a breathing sound.
Somebody making a breathing sound? What does that mean?
All right. And where is the one from? Come on, where is that picture, guys? Y'all should have it. We've had it up there forever, for over a year or so almost now. Come on, where is the picture? I want you to see this. What? Yeah, pour that into the screen, the
They messed the green screen up again.
normal screen, guys. They need to see this. Not into the LED screen, into the main screen, the front screen. I want them. I'm so sorry, people. I'm trying to show you how it looks up front. Y'all,
I mean, it looks fantastic like that. They really struggle with their LED and green screen.
are not listening to me. Pull the picture into the main screen, not the LED screen on the stage, into the main screen that people can see this clearly. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
They're working for you for free while you insult them. They're trying to do the will of God. Unfortunately, they think that you have some affiliation with God. And hopefully now that maybe they know, I don't know.
What's happening?
He's always worked up.
Pull it into the main screen, not on the LED screen. There we go. Yes. God, what took you so long to listen? Michelle, get me somebody back there that knows what they're doing.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so you all see these pictures here. You have that picture. Get that picture to them. All y'all got to do is shoot it to them. Also, I want the picture of the column set that's going to be at the crusade. Y'all got to move quickly. Y'all moving too slow. That looks, yeah. But I need a close up, not on the screen. I need you to pull it into the screen so the people can see it clearly. Guys, come on. Pull the picture into the main screen, not on the LED screen.
They did it again.
I need them to see this. I want you to see
dude, if it was me, and honestly, and if he was like talking to me like that, they probably do this on purpose. I mean, I know I would. Absolutely would do this on purpose.
The column set that we're nation flags. That's right, camera. Come on, get it. You're too slow. Come on, let's move. You're going too slow. So,
he's going at a normal speed, jerk. That's like that's a good like he's panning and he's doing well. Going too slow.
So I want you to, and I want to say this before you go on. My staff, you all should be pulling in and out on the screen the new flyer showing that the dates are postponing. Come on, you should already have that going back and forth since we are announcing this. Guys, what are you doing? Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
So are they responding? And who's working that? Come on, give me somebody to work that y'all see. You guys, y'all don't move when I be telling you to. You know, you're moving too slow.
Everybody moves too slow.
Somebody should have ran up here and did that. Amen. I don't have time. When we in the spirit, you got to move with me. Y'all know that. I shouldn't have to rebuke you publicly like this. Okay.
I shouldn't have to rebuke you publicly. I shouldn't have to rebuke you publicly. But I'm gonna do it anyway. All right. So now you get a little bit like that. That's actually mild. I've seen them way worse than that. But let's go back to this beautiful piece of video. Like my favorite. Oopsies. There we go. It's looking very.
They are just getting started, so they don't have a large overhead or nothing like that. We allow them to use the building on Sunday, since I used the building more so for massive conferences and services, things like that.
When did JMMI purchase this building?
I think that was in maybe 2 years ago.
So for those of you who are just joining us, we're watching the deposition of David E. Taylor from JMMI. This is from, obviously you can see the date, but it's still going on today. But what you'll hear is just, if you're not familiar with David E. Taylor, He's like the biggest scam artist that I've ever seen. And he's so blatant about it because he hides behind the tax laws of the church, the nonprofit tax laws. And I mean, he should be, and hopefully one day they'll tighten this up. But I mean, he should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for laundering money, for all kind. There's a million different things that if he wasn't a nonprofit, and he is a nonprofit because has a church ministry, for lack of a better term, not a good one.
Yeah, a little over 2 years ago.
Does it have a mortgage?
No, it's paid off.
So did these Kingdom, I'm sorry, was it Kingdom Family?
KFC, Kingdom Family Church.
Did then they pay rent?
Not really, no.
Okay, let me place an objection on the record. I've given a lot of latitude so far in this very brief deposition, but the objection is to.
I like how he gets like, it's funny whenever his lawyer chimes in, like objects. And when depositions are really weird because when somebody objects to a question, they still answer it, but they just want their objection on the record. So the objection really doesn't mean that much when you do that. So what they do is he said, you could objection, but you could go ahead and answer. It's like, what?
Relevance. I don't know how.
Because there's no judge. This actually goes to like a judge or something like that. And then he just wants it on the record that he's doing this.
Possibly relates to the issues of parenting time and or spousal support.
There's more to it than that.
Okay, you can go ahead and answer the question.
So when you say your office, are you referring exclusively to this 20320 Superior Road building?
Yes.
You do not have an office in any other city or state?
Yes, we do.
Okay, do you want to tell me about those?
And we're getting those more established. One in St. Louis, another in Budapest, Hungary, Europe, Korea, Arizona.
You have offices in those 4 places?
Yes.
All right, may I have the address of the St. Louis?
Taylor office facilities.
All right, you used it you referred to it as a Taylor residence. Do you own a home?
No, I'm sorry. I mean Taylor building on Superior.
Okay.
It's in a corporate area, so it's a office building. It's not a residence.
What about now? Is there sound now?
But it's also used as a church by some people, at least?
Yes, we allow churches to use.
Okay, so the office is, are you saying there is no physical place in St. Louis that your ministry operates out of?
No, I mean a building physically. I used to have one, but not now. I moved all of my physical, I want to say residence. What word should I use? I moved all my physical place here in Taylor.
So there's nothing in St. Louis anymore?
A P.O. box.
Well, that's not a
Well, our mail go there. That's huge. It's massive. you know, it's, you know,
Ugh. That was the best.
So when you say that's huge and massive, are you referring to the amount of mail you get there?
Well, mail, I mean, corresponding with people is very important to us. So that's big to us.
But you don't have any place in St. Louis that you work out of or anybody else works out of?
We may work out of our little home or whatever.
We may work out of our little home.
What do you mean your little home? What does that mean?
It's a little
You
home.
know, like
What do you mean? What does he mean? He works out of a little home.
if I have
It's pretty self-explanatory. He works out of a little home.
a staff person until I,
Yeah, the P.O. box is huge for him because he asks people, we get our mail. He's really just looking for like the donations, the checks and stuff like that. So that's really what he's doing. But he works in a tiny house.
we raise enough money to buy another office facility in that area, then, you know, we do it out of, you know, my staff that is there. They do it out of the place they make.
Yeah, he doesn't. Bloodhounder, are you new to the channel? Or I know you know a lot about David E. Taylor. I do too. It's fantastic story, and fantastic in a bad way. But I mean, he's an absolute joke.
Live. So that's
They
why
do
I'm
it out,
saying,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Do it out of
Yeah.
the place that,
yeah, their little office that they have in the place they stay in at this time.
you
So
mean
that's what
somebody
I'm
could
telling
be
you.
working technically, in your opinion, out of their home?
Like you do out of yours, right?
No.
I mean, you have
I
a
have an
computer.
office.
Yeah, but you have a computer at your home and you have an office. I have an office too. It's here. So I'm saying I travel, I'm mobile. I live in St. Louis. So there are things that have to be done there. So we take laptops. I'm sure you got a laptop, right? Yeah.
This isn't about me.
Got her. I'm sure you have a laptop, right? Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to
Well,
give you
I'm trying to
understanding.
figure out,
Yes.
where was the building that you say you no longer have? What was that address?
That was in St. Louis on Patterson. I can't remember the address.
You don't know the address of the building that
Oh,
you
yeah,
own?
it's been years ago.
You said it was just a couple years ago.
No, I didn't say couple. I said years ago.
How many years ago did you cease owning this building?
I didn't own it. It was a rental property.
It was a rental property in St. Louis?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of that property?
Office facility.
I really don't know how he can breathe with that zipper right up on his neck like that. I mean, it looks uncomfortable. Who shows up to a deposition dressed like they're about to sign the Declaration of Independence after the depot? Hey guys, I got a deposition at 9, but I'll be there to sign the Declaration of Independence here in just a little bit.
Please.
And how big was it?
Objection to relevance.
Okay.
You can answer the question, but I'm going to place a standing objection on the
That's
record.
fine.
I like this attorney too.
It was probably about 3,000 square feet.
No, that's not a preacher's costume. He's not Catholic and he doesn't wear, he's just wearing, it looks like a velour overcoat, and then underneath it kind of reminds me of like a chef's shirt. But I'm not really sure. But it's a bad look, and that beard is like he's probably in his mid 50s, and he looks like, I used to have that kind of beard when I was like 19. And it was embarrassing then, and it's embarrassing now. But I can't stop looking at it.
Just for office facilities, yeah.
And you paid rent to somebody? Who did you pay it to?
I don't remember the guy's name who owned it.
Okay, but you don't have any physical facility that you operate out of
I
in
don't
St.
have a
Louis?
building there. My building, like I said, I moved my offices.
The nails scare me.
here.
No, I understand, but
Okay.
aside from an office, anything else, even
That's what
that.
I'm saying.
No, let me just finish so we're real clear what I'm asking.
Okay.
Anything even other than an office.
I've shared with you that
Let
they
me
may
just,
do
let me
it.
finish so you
Okay.
can understand.
Okay.
I'm not talking about people that work out of their home.
Yes.
I'm talking about any other
Their tiny home.
building or facility that you or your ministry works out of in St. Louis.
Yes. I have staff who work out of a home that they
No, I understand that.
may
I'm asking
live in.
about something else.
I'm just saying I don't have what you're asking. I don't have a physical building there like that. It's up here in Taylor. This is where our professional offices are.
Where's the residential center that is on your asset
does that
liability sheet?
Oh, it's in St. Louis,
Okay.
but that's not an office.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I asked a few times, it doesn't have to be an office, any facility, building, structure that you work out of, office or otherwise.
Okay.
So there is a residential center.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
So now he's going to introduce you to the residential center that this is good stuff.
Of course. You should have said that earlier. I didn't know
No,
what you
you should
said.
have answered earlier.
No, you didn't.
Residential
You didn't
center.
explain enough.
Residential
You didn't explain enough.
center
And I don't know if he said you didn't ask plain enough or explain enough. I'm not sure.
is in St. Louis.
Be direct and specific so I can
Be direct and specific.
answer your question.
So that's why I was suggesting you not interrupt me so that I could finish the sentence and you'd be real clear what we were asking.
Okay.
So a residential
The way she just, he's like a little kid. You should be more suspicious. And then she's like, well, just shut up, dude. Just shut up.
center does exist in St. Louis.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Okay.
But that's that's not an office.
It doesn't have to be an office.
Okay. I thought you was talking about a
I bet there's an office inside that mansion.
professional location like this.
No,
we have that in Taylor. Okay.
I did not limit my question to an office.
Okay. So yeah, be more specific so I can.
More Pacific. More Pacific what? Be more Pacific what? Like Pacific time, Pacific Ocean, pacifist. Maybe he was trying to say that. Maybe he would be more Pacific. Oh, she'll be more Pacific. All right.
I know what you're saying.
I believe I was. All right. So
Not
what is
really.
this residential center?
Oh, this is a place that the ministry owns. Well, not own. We're in the process of buying that. Yeah. We
You're not being Pacific enough, Mr. Taylor.
So
don't
are
own
you
it yet.
renting to buy or are you?
Yeah, we're leasing to buy.
Like it's a mobile home. Leasing to buy.
Mhm.
So what happened is there's somebody in the church or associated with the church that is holding the title while the church, not him, makes payments for him to live in this mansion. And it's a mansion. I've seen it. It's crazy. But he uses, we're a church and there's a lot of really good churches, in the world, but he's not like, yeah. It's weird.
You have that as an asset of 2.844,
Becky D, it is not a tiny house. It's enormo.
2,844,500. So do you own it?
I just answered that, didn't I? I said we didn't own it.
Okay,
We're
but
leasing to
where
buy
does
it.
I'm sorry?
We're leasing to buy it. Did you? I thought we just said that.
All right, but
Yeah.
you have listed it as an asset worth $2,844,000.
Oh, that should be more of a liability. Yeah.
Would you like to take a look at that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got the liability on page 2.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. What we have already paid compared to what it's worth Is that what you're saying? What
You
because
listed it.
it's not paid off. Like,
All right, so where does the number 2 million?
So he lists it as a well, he says it's a liability. He lists it as an asset. That way, when he tries to get loans from banks, he can make his net worth seem bigger, even though he doesn't hold the title to this mansion. I mean, what he's doing is very, very illegal, but he's protected under the nonprofit status.
$1,844,000 come from on your
that's the
asset and liability.
That's, I guess, the appraisal value of the home or the residential center. Yeah.
Is it a home?
So he calls it a residential center, which sounds like a house to me. But at the same time, I really can't stop looking at it. Like, he looks like George Jefferson's son. I mean, the roof is gone, dude. Chimney's gone. Most of the shingles are gone. Some of the tar is gone. I mean, it's time to let it go. And it's weird because there's a bald spot here and then a bald spot here. You tell me.
No, it's a residential center. We use it.
All right, so you're saying it's not something you own, but you have it listed as an asset of $2.8 million.
That's probably a mistake.
No, it's definitely not a mistake. It's a mistake that you did it. It's illegal. But you did it on purpose so you could grow your net worth to probably defraud banks.
Like I say, it probably should be a liability.
It shouldn't be that either. You don't own it. You don't. I mean, you just live in it, and yeah, it's not anything.
Yeah, that should be a liability. I think that was an error there.
Who prepares this? This document called balance sheet.
I don't know. I don't know which one of them. I have 3 people in the office that could do this. I don't know which one.
Who would those 3 people be?
Michelle.
Okay, so now you're gonna. So this is what I'm gonna do, because I really feel like this is kind of interesting. There's a part 2 to this, and we can do the part 2, but because it gets insanely good. But we can do that. But for years, when this deposition came out, I mean, years, you would always hear Axe Michelle. Axe Michelle. That's how he says it. Axe Michelle. And probably about a year ago, maybe less, the Michelle deposition came out. She got deposed just like he did, but nobody had gotten their hands on the deposition yet. And then they finally did get the deposition. And so what we can do is we can watch this, and then there's a part 2, and then there's 2 parts to Michelle's. So we'll have to watch his and watch hers. It's fantastic. She's a real piece of work too.
Ashley.
What's Michelle? Is it just Michelle?
Probably, yes.
And her last name?
Brannon.
Brannon?
Yes.
Okay, and the next person?
Ashley Ware.
How do you spell Ashley?
Ashley.
And how do you spell Ware?
Ware. Okay.
And the next one?
Brashira. I really don't know how to spell that one.
I'm shocked.
Brashira.
Is it a man or woman?
It's a lady. Mm-hmm.
Bashira?
Yeah.
And her last name?
I'm trying to pronounce that. Hargus.
Can you just spell it?
Haque, something like that. Yeah.
Are these all employees?
No, they are volunteer workers.
Okay, so he's very, very careful. Somebody has kind of made him aware to call them volunteers. People have to be volunteers because it goes along with this scam.
One is employee,
Who's the employee?
Michelle.
And these two people are volunteers?
Yes.
Do you have an accountant that does any kind of accounting work for you?
We have a private firm, yes.
And who is that?
It's private, dude. You don't get to know.
Davis and Associates.
Davidson?
Davis and Associates.
Davis and Associates?
I think he made that up because his name's David. So she's like, well, who does your stuff? David. Because, he's the one that does it. So he's like, Davidson.
And where are they located?
In St. Louis.
So you don't know who prepared this balance sheet?
Like I say, it could have been one of those three. I don't want to tell you a story. I can't tell you exactly.
I don't want you to tell me anything you can't verify.
So
I love this lawyer. She is so good. She is so good.
But your accountant did not.
Now, what are you asking? Are you asking if the accountant did the balancings, or did someone provide these sheets to you? What are you saying? What are you saying?
In terms of who prepared this document about assets and liabilities, would your accountant have prepared this?
I don't think my accountant did that.
Why not? Isn't that what accountants do? Or a lawyer? I think Michelle did it.
Think that the internal office tried to answer your questions, and they pulled information from maybe documents that my
documents. He said documents.
Professional firm did, and tried to give you what you needed.
So were these
the internal department with the documents
created for the purpose of this deposition, or did they exist before?
Oh, they exist before.
So he knows that one. Oh, he's like, you try to get me to step in the poo-poos, but that's not happening. They existed way before. They weren't made for this deposition. Wink, wink, right, lawyer? Wink, wink. Objection. Wink, wink. You could still answer. Wink, wink.
We have everything documented. Everything.
Right. I'm sure you do. Except you didn't show up with anything that she asked for.
Every penny.
But you acknowledge that you believe this 2.8 million is an error.
It has to be, because the residential center is
It has to be, because it's a felony if it's not
paid off. So it couldn't be an asset, right? It's a liability. I think that's how the banks would show it, right? You would know that, right?
I don't.
Yeah, she would know that. She just wants you to answer. She's not going to answer. You can't ask questions to somebody. You're not allowed to ask questions to the person that is deposing you.
Answer questions. This is one way.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm trying to get understanding.
All right, so tell me the residential center. Did we get an address for that? I need an address for the residential center.
Yeah, 24,000 Tempage.
What is it?
Tempage, Tim.
Tim.
Paige.
That's the name of the street?
Yes, Tempage.
That's type of Tempage?
Tempage, yeah.
Avenue, road, anything?
Tempage.
I think it's road, probably.
And that is in St. Louis?
Yes, Chesterfield, Missouri.
So your rent.
He looks like he has indigestion really bad right now. Like, look at him. Like, he looks like somebody's taking a broom and then putting it into his belly and kind of just turning it a little bit. I mean, that's a constipated look. I need some probiotics, maybe some yogurt. I ate a whole pound of beef brisket. mac and cheese. That's a Taco Bell look, man. That's what that is. That is an absolute desperation. I think I need to run down the hall and relieve myself of the 10 pounds of pork shoulder that I ate the night before.
Renting with an option to buy?
Yes,
And who is the owner then?
the ministry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The ministry is renting with the option to buy. The owner is Harold Lewis.
Okay, and what goes on at the residential center?
That's where I live for free.
Well, I mean, it's
Objection to form of the question. What are you trying to ask?
yeah.
What is its purpose? Who goes there?
It is really it's a gathering place for our ministry where I bring in different leaders and also the staff that we have as a place of, maybe resort and teaching. And training.
Resort?
Yeah, teaching.
Yeah, resort.
A resort where we teach and train.
Right.
What do you mean by the word resort? Usually people think of that as
It's a resort. I mean, that's what he said it is. It's a dream palace that he lives in.
Maybe I'm not saying it right.
I've seen him wear bedazzled hats too. And by the way, he always, when he's preaching, he lets the top down, but when he's like hiding in the video conference area, when they keep messing his green screen up, he's always wearing like Nike or I've bedazzled like rooster hats.
Let's strike that word. Maybe
let's strike that word.
It's a place where they can come and be refreshed. Like, I don't know if
it's a place where you can go and sleep because I mean, what's so hard about this question?
Have ever been on Christian retreats or things like that where people can go and hear the word of God and also relax and that kind of thing. So,
but it's not a church.
No, it's not a church.
It's not a church.
Do people live there?
It's habitable. Yes, we could live there. We could stay overnight.
It's habitable, not habitable, habitable. And we could stay there overnight. Like you could stay anywhere overnight. You could sleep in a bush if you wanted to. It's a house. Yes, you can live in it. And that look, my friends, is the picante was too spicy.
Do people stay overnight and live there?
No, people stay overnight. When I have guests in, they could come in.
So yes, the answer is yes.
Do that. But I have my own apartment. I stay in a small apartment.
In the residential center?
No, I have my own personal apartment.
Okay, we'll get to that. But I'm
she gets to it.
So what I'm saying, so the residential center is used, it has bedrooms and stuff like that, so you can stay in there. But it's more so used for a retreat and a place where, people can be refreshed. Am I answering right? Am I okay? Okay.
You're confident of that address that you gave me on Tim Page?
Am I answering right? Not really, but you got to do it anyway.
Yeah, 24,000, is that right?
You tell me.
I thought that is.
You're confident of that address, though?
I think so. I think that's right. Am I wrong? Do I need to look something up?
You can tell that like he doesn't like being questioned. He doesn't like having to answer any questions at all. And this lady's got him by the old sack right now. Really giving it to him.
You're answering the question to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, thank you.
That's called a lie. And the to the that's exactly what you're supposed to the best of my knowledge.
Is it possible that it's 15,400?
Oh, yes, that's
Oh yes. 15,400. Oh yes.
right. It was 15,400. That is right. That's totally off.
Yeah, it's totally off. You're right. It's not even close. Not even if the numbers were a sport, they would be totally different. Like one would be rugby and then one would be basketball. The numbers aren't even close.
Thank you guys. Y'all are sharp.
Yes, they are. They're very sharp. They're very, very sharp, and you're not. You're the anti-sharp. He looks like he's that zipper looks like it's about to pinch his neck.
I'm going to show you a picture of 15,400 Tim Page.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in a residential neighborhood.
Thank you. Y'all are sharp.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is a home.
Yeah, but it's a residential center. That's what the ministry.
Right, but this is in a residential neighborhood. Is that
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
okay.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Is it like a subdivision with different houses up and down the street?
No, it's a gated community. Or no, it's a gated house.
I don't think I would call it a subdivision, but it's other homes.
That's where the poor people live, in subdivisions. Poor people that don't steal from people have to live usually next to people. But in this case, he's got enough donors at this point so he can rent this mansion that's behind a closed gate.
Around it.
So it is.
Yes.
Does
it's
this
a residential area? Yeah.
Do the neighbors there know you're operating a ministry out of there?
Mm-hmm.
They got to answer yes or no.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is.
Do they know? Mm-hmm. You have to answer yes or no. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Actually not listed as St. Louis. It's listed as Chesterfield.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I said
No,
Chesterfield, Missouri.
No, you said
Did
St.
you hear me
Louis.
say that?
You're being argumentative.
Yeah.
I actually did hear him say that. So the score's 400,021 to 1. Good job, buddy. You got one.
Objection. He did say Chesterfield. I have it written down.
You're not
I
listening.
didn't hear it.
And then he says, you're not listening. This guy's an absolute jerk. You're not listening.
You're not listening. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I am very careful.
Not really.
Okay, so this.
Oh, she's listening. She's the one that knew where the residential center was, and you didn't. You're not listening.
The residential center is in Chesterfield, Missouri.
Chesterfield, yes.
And it's actually what had been used as a home by people previously. It's not an office building or.
Oh no.
Oh,
It's not. It's not in a
it's a mansion.
business center area.
Okay.
It's in a residential area, but it's remote. It is not like a barn. It's spacious, so you can understand what I'm saying.
Well, it says it's 8,204 square feet.
Yes.
Okay, and you told me the owner was
Harold Lewis.
Harold Lewis, and
Yes.
who is Harold Lewis?
He is a sports agent for many years.
Does he reside in that house?
No.
And do you know where he lives?
Yes, but I can't give his address. I don't know that.
Well, he doesn't
What
even
city
know.
or what state?
Oh, Lake St. Louis.
He can't give the other guy's address because he doesn't even know where his residential center is.
Lake St. Louis?
Yes, Lake St. Louis. That's another suburb out by Chesterfield.
So is it in Lake or St. Louis?
Maybe, what did I say?
You said Lake St. Louis, which I didn't think made sense.
That's because it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm probably quoting that wrong. It's an area. It's like
It's an area. So the guy lives in an area. Where does he live? In an area.
suburb. and there's Lake, I think it's Lake St. Louis. Lake, I'm not sure.
Not sure much.
I'm not positive.
Not positive of much. I'm positive of something though.
But I know it has Lake something in it.
It has lake something in it.
So you're purchasing this home from Harold Lewis.
Yes. The ministry is. Not I, the ministry.
And when you say it's remote, how do people get there then?
I mean, it's not just, it's a gate. So,
Gated community?
yes. Not community. The house is gated.
Yeah, it's a mansion. It's gated. I mean, getting real answers out of this guy is almost impossible.
How many nights a year would you say that you sleep there?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm always traveling on the road.
You can approximate.
And I'm in, usually when I have guests or, I don't know, I really don't have, what are you looking for? How many? I don't have.
How many nights would you spend
It just,
at
it
that
varies.
residential
It depends
center?
on
Every night?
if I'm traveling or if I'm in my own apartment. Usually
can
I'm out of town
approximate.
so much.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
But still, how many nights would you spend there?
If I'm there for a week, I may spend 2 nights and just check on things. But
What do you mean
I
just
can't really
check on
say.
things?
Well, I mean, it's a residence, it's something you must check on, keep up.
Now you said you have an apartment,
Yes.
and what's that address?
2008 Victory Way Lane,
20
2008, 2008 Victory Way Lane,
Victory,
Way Lane.
in what city?
I don't.
Florissant, Missouri.
I don't think so.
Can you spell
I
that?
mean,
Florissant, FLORISSANT.
it's definitely prevalent, but not necessarily. But I know what you mean.
How far is that from Chesterfield?
Probably 35 minutes.
Okay, and then all right, so how many nights a year do you sleep at the apartment?
I can't say. I don't know how to answer that. I really don't know how to answer that.
Just an approximation.
I can't say.
Well, how often do you go to the apartment?
I'm out of town so much, but I'm trying to think. What are you looking for?
In the last 3 months, how many times have you gone?
Imagine being like the lawyer. This guy, you're just sitting there like rolling your eyes, like you're defending the most guilty person ever, and you just have to sit there and listen to how idiotic he is.
Onto the
Okay,
apartment.
now you're making sense. Okay, so we probably could say, narrowing it down like that, maybe 10.
And then in the
or
last
5.
3 months, how many nights or times would there be at the residential center?
Maybe 5, something like that.
So even though it's called a residential center, you don't have people staying there continuously.
No.
There is nobody that resides there
No.
as their primary residence.
No.
And what do you pay in rent on the apartment?
900 and something. I'm not sure. It's about 9.
And does anybody else live with you there?
No. Well, my babies, my 2
Who doesn't know how much their rent is? That doesn't make any sense.
children.
Your babies live there?
Yeah, they, Joshua and Destiny.
I'm ashamed to have.
Joshua, what's Joshua's Full name?
Joshua Diaz.
Objection to relevance.
That's okay. What's his name?
Joshua.
Said objection to relevance. That's okay. You can object. Answer the question.
Do I need to answer that?
Yeah, you can go ahead and answer, but with the understanding that this is an
I understand.
ongoing objection.
I get it.
Okay.
Joshua,
Caleb Taylor.
how do you spell Caleb?
CALEB.
And how old? What's the date of birth?
He's 15 years old.
What's that date of birth?
December the 21st, 1989.
1999, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. And your other child?
Destiny Taylor.
How do you spell that?
DESTINY.
And her middle name?
NANN.
That's exactly what he's doing.
And her
Taylor.
date of birth?
And on top of that, he's dumb too.
January 16th. 1997. She's 17.
Okay. And then so you threw me there when you referred to them as your babies. They're actually teenagers.
I know. You know, they're always children to your father. They always be my.
Do you have any other
babies.
children?
You're always children to your father. What is that? What does that even mean?
Yes. Isaiah Webster.
How do you spell that?
ISAIAH.
Middle name?
I don't have that. Webster.
You don't know his middle name?
No, I don't think he has one. Yeah. WEBSTER.
And his date of birth?
His date of birth is February 3rd,
February.
1990.
It's February.
No, I'm sorry, 2003.
Any other children?
That's it.
3. All right. When you refer to Joshua and Destiny, you say they live at your apartment?
Mm-hmm.
You can answer yes or no.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Is that full time?
No, it's joint custody with their mom,
And who's their mother?
Tabitha A. Taylor,
And where does she live?
in St. Louis.
Tabitha Taylor doesn't have a lot of nice things to say about David Taylor. You'd be hard pressed to find many that have anything nice to say about this guy. He's a terrible, terrible person.
So if you're traveling so much and you only get to these places, whatever, 10 times in 3 months, is that the primary
He's busy opening up offices in Budapest.
place that you see Joshua and Destiny?
No,
Where else would you see them?
I have an apartment.
No, I'm talking about the apartment.
Mhm.
Is that where you see them?
Well, you asked about how often I go to the residential center. You didn't ask about the apartment.
No, I
So
asked
that's where
about
we really
both.
stay.
I asked
Well, no,
about
you
both.
weren't specific about the apartment directly. The time we have there.
He wasn't specific. Sometimes he says specific, sometimes he says specific. But he's never, he's being a turd. Like he's just being a jerk to her now.
Your questions was about the residential
I asked
center.
both, and you said in about 3 months you would probably go there about 10 times, and you paid
Mhm.
$900 a month in rent.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was asking about the residential center. No. When I'm in town, it's more than that there at the apartment where I pay $900. I thought you were speaking of the residential center. I'm sorry.
Okay, so at the
Yeah.
apartment,
Mhm.
in a 3-month period of time, how often do you think you stay there?
I try to make it back every weekend. So in 3 months, you would say out of 12 weeks, you would say maybe 12. No, maybe, I'm sorry, 11 at the most and 9 at the least. if I'm really busy.
All right, so when you said 10
Oh yeah, he's got tons of stuff to do.
times in 3 months, that's kind of accurate then, isn't it?
Yeah, but I thought I was referring to that was really another amount for the residential center to check on things. Yeah.
All right, so the residential center, you
By the way, he claims that this deposition has been cut up and altered to make him look bad. He said that on the record, that the deposition has been edited to make him look as bad as possible. But this is a continuous tape with no edits. And it's just ridiculous.
you also spend approximately 10 nights in a 3-month period of time?
Not really, no. I was referring to maybe going there. That's what I thought you were referring to. So,
Not sleeping there?
no, but I have slept there sometimes.
Are you the caretaker of the residential center?
Well, I'm the caretaker, but I have help. My staff helps. So I usually will have them go out there and take care of things when I'm gone. So
When you
I don't
refer
know
to
if I could say I'm the caretaker because I'm always gone. So I have a staff that really see to it.
Who's
care
the
for it.
staff that you refer to in doing that?
It's a list of people.
Where's the key to the place kept?
In my pocket.
With the
Because I live there.
caregiver, the person who we have look at the place.
All right, who is that person?
James Gregory.
2 first names.
And is he on
James Gregory.
staff?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
2 first names is odd. James Gregory. It's like he just made that up. Like his 2 friends that he went to preschool with. James and Gregory.
With JMMI?
Mm-hmm.
Volunteer
Yes,
staff.
Yes. Also. Yeah.
And is he volunteer or paid?
He's not married.
Volunteer at this time.
And he
Yeah,
has the key in his possession.
Yes.
Who is the mother of?
I think she just whispered to the client, he's the dumbest person I've ever talked to. I can't be sure, but that's what I thought I heard.
Isaiah Webster?
Monica Webster.
Where does she live?
In Washington State.
What city?
I'm not sure now. I was Tacoma.
West Tacoma?
Yeah.
Were you married to Miss Webster?
No.
Do you have any kind of custodial relationship with?
James Gregory. I don't know. Let's find out. James Gregory. I think he's a comedian. Yeah. James Gregory was known as the funniest man in the world. James Gregory. So he's a comedian. And I think you're thinking of Gregory Peck.
Isaiah?
Yes.
And what is that?
Fact.
Just,
He is
I'm
very
his
free.
father, and I have the rights to see him and have him. So.
Okay, but what I mean by custodial
Okay.
relationship, do you have any kind of joint legal, joint
Oh, no.
physical?
No.
Nothing on paper?
No.
You got to answer not.
No.
Okay, so when was the last time you saw him?
Where do you live?
It's been a while now.
What would that be? Just approximate.
Been a while now.
Last time you saw him?
It's been a while now.
What would that be?
Been a
Just
while since he's
approximate.
seen his kids. That lovely.
Maybe a year.
Are there court proceedings
Yeah, he
related
does
to
have that.
this child?
Um,
Paternity,
I wanna
child
say-
support?
Oh yeah, child support.
You pay child
yeah.
support?
Mm-hmm.
You have to answer, I'm sorry,
Yes.
yes or no.
Yes, I do.
And how much do you pay in child support?
$450.
He knows how much he pays for child support, but he doesn't know how much he pays for rent. But he doesn't really know. The only reason, I guarantee you that he pays his child support with money from the church. Well, I know he does because that's where he makes all of his money.
A
50
month, yes.
a month?
Mhm.
And what about the two other children?
$750.
Thank you,
$750
Terry.
a month for Joshua and
Yes.
Destiny?
Yes. Mhm.
And were you married to their mother?
Yes.
I'm sorry. And her name was Tabitha.
Yes.
And when were you divorced?
In February of 2010.
And in what county and state?
St. Louis.
He just went.
This is necessary.
Tell me how you really feel about him. He just asked his lawyer, are these questions really necessary? I don't know if they're necessary, but they're awesome.
I placed a standing objection on the record.
Okay. Do I have to answer or do I still
Yeah, dude, you have to answer. That's what a deposition is.
answer?
You need to answer the question.
Yes, you have to answer that way. His lawyer's like, you have to. Do I have to answer?
I would just note that you're having a conversation with the deponent, just for the record.
I'm indicating that he has to answer the questions.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to go back on this. So when someone says to you, where is your residence? Well, tell me what your answer is.
I let them know where I live.
And where would you say that is?
My apartment, 208 Victory Way Lane.
Okay, so that would be where you actually reside.
It's
Actually
totally
reside.
possible.
Mhm.
Do you have a driver's license?
Yes,
And what address is on that?
2008 Victory Way Lane.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you refer to your babies, your two teenagers, do they live primarily with their mother? If you're traveling so much?
Well, she has them if I don't, come back like in 1 week.
I think,
or
yeah, is
so.
that the second? That's in the
course, they're
second
with
part.
her.
Yeah, he does
But we have
some
joint
really
custody.
shady stuff.
So she has them half of the week. I have them the other half.
Except you say you travel so much that you're not really around.
And but I did tell you, I try to come back like on the weekends. That's what my time is.
So do you see your children every weekend?
Mostly.
So no.
And that would be in the apartment.
Yes, or wherever we.
He's not charged with
So
anything. His ministry is being sued because a lady donated $1 million and her husband, against her husband's wishes or something. And he's trying to recoup the money, but obviously they don't actually have $1 million anymore, because when he gave the $1 million, or when they gave him the $1 million, he spent it. And I think in part 2 is where they talk about some of the most ridiculous purchases.
They've come out to the residential center.
Yeah,
too,
I think
so-
he did. Yeah.
To sleep overnight?
Yeah, they have done that before.
Now, has Debbie Frazier ever been to the residential
Oh,
center?
we can.
Um,
I think
is that someone
they've given
she
interviews
consider, or-
before.
Yes, she has.
And when was that?
When was the last time?
So I believe what it is that she was told to not donate anymore because she had either some sort of like mental illness, or she was, I'm not exactly sure, but I know that there was there was some sort of order that she's not supposed to donate anymore, and they allowed her to donate $1 million. Yeah.
I think the 4th of July was, no, I don't. I'm trying to remember if the 4th of July was the accurate time because we had the staff out. So I think she was there.
And would she have swam in the pool there? Pardon me?
I'm not sure.
Are there dogs there?
Dogs.
Yeah, are there ever dogs that are at the residence?
Dogs? Yeah, dude, you know what a dog is. He doesn't strike me as an animal lover, though. That's just my opinion.
Central Center?
No.
Oh my God.
So when Debbie Frazier goes to St. Louis, do you know where she goes or stays when she's there?
No, I don't know all of that information. I know when she has come, people from my staff, when we do crusades, they stay in a hotel. Yeah.
What do you mean when you do crusades?
Well, I do crusades all over the country. So if I carry our team to St. Louis, of course, we've done that where we have a bigger crusade than the team from Taylor and Arizona and other places come in and they get hotels.
How many times do you have crusades in St. Louis?
Well, now with my schedule, it's only once a year now because I can't hold them 4 times a year like I used to.
It's like raccoon claw.
What is Deborah Frazier's relationship to JMMI?
She is, first of all, a wonderful mother. And
I'm asking about JMMI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting there. Just hold your horse. So,
he's getting there. Leave him alone.
and she really is a worker, a very diligent worker in the ministry.
That's nice.
What does that mean?
I mean, she does stuff for him that he asks in the name of the Lord.
Well, she helped service people, help people.
What is?
help
Tell me what
feeding
that
the
means.
poor,
Tell me
feeding
what
the
that
poor.
means. Where do they feed the poor?
Well, before, of course, that the food bank moved out, she was also helping in that with our ministry.
Okay, I don't know anything about
A food bank, you don't understand that?
No, you said before it moved out. I don't know anything about a food bank moving out.
Yeah. Well, we had
Out of where?
out of our building. They wanted to get a bigger place. So, but for about
All right.
6 years, we housed a food bank.
Hold on a sec.
Okay.
Food bank moved out of your building. What building are you talking about?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Here in Taylor, yes.
So there was a food bank
Yes.
in what building?
In the Taylor building on Superior Road. But it's no longer there. But those are the kind of services she would do, where she would help. Our ministry would join with them. Like I say, I let the building out to different ministries to do multiple things. So they would
For free?
Yes, for free.
Okay, so there was a food bank, and you're saying that Deborah Frazier worked at the food bank?
She helped some. She didn't just work all the time, but that's the kind of work that she would do.
When did the food bank leave?
When was that? Earlier this year. They went to try to get a bigger place, I guess.
What was it called? Food bank?
That's the name they used. Yeah. That's the name they used. So I don't.
They have a sign that said food bank?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Well, I mean, do you know or not know?
I just don't. I'm not really sure. All I know is that's the common word that they would use, and they would bring gleaners in 18-wheeler truck and just feed hundreds of families.
Do you know what agency was involved in this? Who organized the food bank?
It was a ministry that was connected with us, so I don't have all that information.
Well, when somebody comes to you and says, "Can we use part of your building?"
Yeah.
To Feed the Poor. Do you ask who they are?
Of course.
Okay, and who were these folks?
They were a ministry that came in, you know, they were more so feeding the poor.
But
during
by
the
what
day.
name were they known?
Okay. See,
This is so funny.
you know, I don't know. They didn't go by a name like that. I know they were established and incorporated. I could just tell you their names as individuals, but their organization.
It's Frank. It's Thomas. It's Beverly.
We were really covering them and supporting that and helping that.
What do you mean you were covering them?
Well,
does that
you know,
mean?
they needed a place to do that out of and a place to bring the 18-wheeler to
But
feed many
you said they
people.
were incorporated?
How convenient that this guy puts a food bank right next to where he's at. Anybody else find that odd? A food bank.
But their
Yes?
name, yes. But their name, I don't know their name. I don't know their official name. I just know it was a ministry team, and they were doing this work.
Okay. When Miss Frazier goes to St. Louis,
Mhm.
what does she do for you or the ministry or whoever?
Well, when she goes to St. Louis, she works in the Crusades. Like if I'm having a service there, she ushers.
Where would this physically be?
The Crusade
Right.
at a friend of mine, a bishop's church.
Yeah, exactly.
Who has a large facility.
Oh, he's going to say it.
In the suburb.
In the suburb?
Probably on this
What
next
city?
sentence.
Florissant, Missouri.
Let's wait till he says,
Can you spell that again? FL.
FLORISSANT.
Good job.
What's the bishop's name?
Bishop Matthew Ferguson.
And what's
I
the
think
name
you
of the
said it,
church?
right?
Abundant Life.
Did he say
Fellowship.
again?
And do you have an address?
I really don't know it.
So the crusade goes only once a year, isn't it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Debbie Frazier goes to St. Louis and works for you much more frequently than once a year.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she does a crusade once a year, and when would that be?
We usually do it right after the spring, or
After the spring?
Yeah,
You
you're
mean
talking
in
about the
summer?
crusade, and you're talking about the crusade in St. Louis, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So
After
would
the
that mean
spring-
summer?
Yeah, you probably say the beginning of summer.
You don't have it the same time every year?
No, we can't. The schedule is too sporadic to do that.
Yeah, in between hanging out with your friends, and I believe he's been arrested like with a DUI or driving under the influence, and I think he had some weed with him too.
Okay, and how long does it last?
About 3 days.
And what exactly would Deborah Frazier do to assist in the crusade?
She ushers. She mostly and any type of help that is needed by anybody coming in assistance, she assists them.
All right, give me an example of what that would mean.
Like if someone coming in a wheelchair or something like that, and she's helping.
Somebody shows up with a club foot and they can't walk very well, we'll put them on our back and then we'll run them into the sanctuary. And then if somebody else shows up with missing an arm, we'll shake their left hand because they don't have a right hand. That's how we service people.
Them. She's a great parent.
A great parent?
Yes, she's a great parent.
Okay.
A great parent.
And a great help.
What does that have to do with what she does at St. Louis?
Nothing.
I think her being a great parent has a lot to do with the way her character is in the ministry too.
Do you realize she has only supervised visits with her children?
Oh, I know all of that. Yes.
Okay. She talks to you about that?
Should I?
You don't have to
answer
look
something
at
like
his,
that?
at your lawyer. I'm asking you the question.
Well, I'm going to object
Yeah.
based on privilege between a priest and penitent.
Priest?
He's got the priest penitent privilege. He doesn't have to answer any questions specific to conversations with his members.
Exactly.
I don't think he's a priest.
He's not.
It's
So are
called the
you-
priest penitent privilege.
I-
Doesn't have to
I'm-
be a priest. You can be a minister.
Do you have a site
or
for
rabbi.
that?
No, I don't.
I'm just gonna make, again,
Does she put a
there's a
pack-
certain decorum in this deposition. I'm gonna raise an objection.
does she-
There's two things that are happening with your client. One, he's glaring. Two, he's making comments. It's inappropriate. That's unprofessional. You're the
Right.
attorney. If he wants to participate, he shouldn't be glaring, shaking his head, rolling his eyes, and making comments. He's allowed to be here. He's not. That's not appropriate.
And
for
I
him to be here.
concur in that objection.
That's fine.
Let's take a 5-minute break.
So they're mad. So they's mad that the client who is suing is saying he's saying stuff and like rolling his eyes. But how could you not? This, I mean, he's the worst ever.
Can you use your restroom?
Go ahead. It's 401. Just for,
358.
All right. So let me see. How about we do part 2 tomorrow night?
I
I'm
need to
not sure what
rephrase
that means.
Here's
a little
before-
taster. Here's a little what you can expect.
Going to
Don't watch this without me.
to the previous question. So you're talking about growing financially is one thing, growing inside. So it's different. I mean, because you defined it. It's about a paycheck.
It looks like his hair caught on fire. His hair oh my god. Oh boy. All right, let's watch it tomorrow. Thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats and super stickers and new members. Welcome as well. It's not always like this, but I do kind of like doing this sometimes. It is fun giving commentary. I don't. I do like it. It's interesting. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good night or good morning or whatever, wherever you may be and whatever you may be doing.